It's been a while since I've done a podcast in English, but I have some people asking me they're interested in what I'm saying in Spanish. So the far and few that there are, we want to get that out there for you guys. I also have the podcast on YouTube, so you guys can be able to take a look there if you prefer. They're also on Spotify and Apple Podcast, so check them out. Today we're going to talk about just two topics. We're going to talk about energy drinks and we're going to talk about protein bars. Both topics that I know a lot of people consume on the go for obviously energy, and the protein bars, both for many reasons, because we don't have access to the healthy food we want, so we're thinking the protein bar is one way to get it in. So both things that we consume a lot in our world today. Energy drinks, we'll start with that. When you make your way down any drink aisle at the grocery store, you'll see them, especially at the gas stations. They're right there at the register. You have your 5-hour energy drinks. You got your Red Bulls and your Monsters, and now all these new ones that they're healthy ones. You know, they're like pre-workout drinks and whatnot, Boost and C4s and all kinds of stuff. So how do we know which ones are okay, which ones are not okay? And we always have new brands coming out claiming to be the healthy one or the cleaner one, and they're popping up every single day. They're meant to increase your energy quickly and help you focus quickly. But as the saying goes, if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Waking up and getting energy, yes, we can use stimulants to do that, but we want to be able to have that naturally going on in our body. And for years, healthcare professionals have warned about the dangers and side effects of energy drinks. But of course, as we can see with our society today, not many people are prioritizing their health. So this is definitely something that we want to take a look at. It's not just the caffeine that's in the energy drinks, but it's the habits formed by consuming these beverages. They have a big impact on your health. So we're going to explore during this podcast some alternatives that you can use for energy, and some of the reasons why we want to avoid those energy drinks or energy shots that are out there on the market. An energy drink is a beverage that's intended to increase mental alertness, clarity, focus. The energy shots are similar in their effect, but are typically more concentrated and are considered dietary supplements sometimes. They usually contain a variety of ingredients, including vitamins, and caffeine, and sugar. Those are really your three main ingredients that you're going to find in pretty much every single energy drink or energy shot. Some of these drinks promise to give you long-lasting energy for many hours. Others boast that they have additional benefits, such as elevating your mood or aiding in weight loss. But why are energy drinks really bad for you? We know we're not supposed to drink them, but a lot of us, like many things, we don't know why we're not supposed to drink them. Well, for starters, the side effects. Many experts are wary of these energy drinks because of the large amounts of caffeine and sugar in them. It's not that they have caffeine or not that they have sugar, it's the large amounts that they have. Of course, many people know that if we consume these ingredients in excess, that they do have repercussion or damage on our body. However, energy drinks, they often try to persuade or show themselves or market themselves as a healthy thing that you can consume because they have very few calories, and that's the whole idea, right? Calories in, calories out, or the old idea that we always thought. Don't get confused. So you got to be careful because there's a lot of side effects. Sleep disruptions. One of the major things that actually sometimes affects me is too much caffeine is obviously gonna mess with your sleep. One of the major issues is that they overstimulate your body and your mind, and so as a result, it can cause difficulty sleeping and disrupt your circadian rhythm. Ironically, this can be a problem that people start to rely on these energy drinks, and that's how this whole thing can start for some people. What will happen is there was actually a study that they did in 2016 that showed that the trend between energy drinks and the drink energy consumption and what's related between consuming energy drinks and energy shots with an increase in late bedtimes, complaints of headaches, complaints of irritation, and fatigue. So in our day, those are 4 things that we do not want having, especially if it's coming directly from something that we're consuming. Because these side effects can lead to poor academic performance, and they can put adolescents at risk for other behavioral and health issues. So if you're not willing to give up these energy drinks, at least be mindful when you're consuming them and make sure that you're not giving them to your babies, because we have, again, that circadian rhythm that gives us energy and makes us go to sleep. And if we're constantly messing with that with stimulants, it's going to throw that circadian rhythm off, and that becomes a problem. For a good night's sleep, of course, you want to at least have 6 hours without consuming any coffee or any caffeine at that point. Or some people like just to say before afternoon, don't eat any more coffee. I mean, that's probably more close to 8 hours or more before you're going to sleep, but I really don't like to play with it. And then also, you don't want to be using these things right as you wake up, because then we're talking about you're not letting your circadian rhythm again naturally wake you up. Your natural cortisol comes up. So if you're rolling out of bed and smashing a cup of coffee, or rolling out of bed and smashing an energy drink to wake yourself up, you're not allowing your body and the sunlight to wake you up naturally and lift those levels of cortisol, so that way in the nighttime when you're about to go to sleep, those levels of melatonin start going down. Another side effect from these drinks are mental health and mood disturbances. So there's some research that shows that with chronic use of energy drinks, they contribute to just a low mood, a low self-esteem. There's a study that shows males in particular are demonstrating higher levels of stress after consuming energy drinks. These mental health hazards may be a result of the high levels of caffeine and the tendency to overconsume these drinks, because you get one and then you want another one. And as you start crashing down, you're like, oh man, I need to get that next Red Bull into me. You know what I mean? So the overconsumption of these drinks that have high levels of caffeine, and caffeine, obviously, that we're probably not getting a good source from, right? After all, excessive caffeine consumption in one sitting can lead to a severe withdrawal. So as you start to get more and more caffeine and then you don't have it, you can actually start to get some sort of withdrawals, sweating, headaches, stomach aches, sore muscles, things like that. So you have to be careful with that. Additionally, the rapid, short-lived burst of the energy that comes from these caffeines has to end at some point. And so if we're coming down, this energy can spike a very negative effect in your mood. And many people become irritable when they're tired and have caffeine withdrawal, and can really push these symptoms further. So you want to be careful with that. It also increases your blood pressure. Since the main ingredients in energy drinks are stimulants, regular consumption can lead to more stress on your cardiovascular system. One study states that adolescents who consume energy drinks experience an increase in blood pressure within 2 hours of consuming these products. Another study cites similar results in young and healthy volunteers. While pumping blood more quickly or forcefully through your veins, this will give you more energy. It's not without any drawbacks though. So the higher blood pressure means more work for your heart. So avoiding energy drinks or drinking them sparingly can avoid this additional strain on your body, especially if we're not doing any exercise that's going to help our cardiovascular, wear that out, right? So it's one thing maybe if we're using some type of stimulant as caffeine or energy drink or a coffee before a workout to get that cardiovascular pump in. But it's another if we're just making our heart work overload and we're not doing it in a healthy, stressful way. This would be a different stress on your heart. We want a healthy stress on your heart. You also have physiological dependence. This is a very concerning phenomenon, actually, because this is a tendency for those who consume energy drinks to become dependent on them. Some people may start with 1 or 2 energy drinks when they're tired, and eventually they may come to depend on 5 throughout the day, and then they're just smashing down these energy drinks all day, every day. We can get that same thing with coffee as well, but these energy drinks, they don't have some of those benefits that we're going to be receiving from that, like we do from coffee, right? Of course, the benefits in the alertness, the focus, and the energy. Of course, those benefits will come, but those are in the moment benefits. We're talking about health benefits for your body, for your mind, for the longevity, right? So you don't want to fall into that, because then you're really getting into those poor sleep habits because you're relied on these energy drinks. So now you got this caffeine in your body all day. These beverages, they only give you that short burst. So that's, again, the benefits are very small and very short-lived. And if that pattern continues, the more energy drinks that you're going to need to be able to get that desired effect of that short, quick energy boost, focus, and whatnot. So this could definitely be a negative health outcome. You could get caffeine toxicity. You can have liver complications, and of course, you could gain weight because of the excess sugar that you're consuming in these energy drinks. To avoid it, it's best to avoid the energy drink, or drink them as infrequently as possible. Next, you want to watch out for the digestive issues, and this is obviously we have massive digestive issues for many reasons in today's world because of the processed food that we're consuming every single day. But now we have these energy drinks that are sugar-free versions, which usually is accomplished by sugar, alcohol, or other alternatives. But in some of these, they still contain really high amounts of added sugars, often as much as a Coca-Cola or a Gatorade, right? So we're talking about more than 25 grams or more of sugar. As a refresher, the gut microbiome consists of the good bacteria in your stomach and the intestines that keep you healthy. So if we get in these high levels of sugar, they're going to disrupt the gut microbiome, and this is not going to. Your microbiome is those bacteria that are fighting all the bad bacteria that obviously have to do with our immune system and have to do about getting sick and whatnot. So we don't want to go damaging our digestive tract and our microbiome. There's a study that also lists stomach irritation among the negative side effects of energy drinks and these energy shots as well. There's more than one study that I was checking out here. So, of course, this is stomach is one of the most sensitive spots. We have 70% of our immune system is here in our stomach. So our first brain is in our stomach. This study doesn't give specific detail about the digestive irritation, but you can conclude that the irritation could cause inflammation and other related issues in the gut. So protecting your gut health is key to maintaining a healthy immune system, mood, proper digestion, and hormone function. For that reason, it's just wise to not overconsume these energy drinks. If you are consuming them, again, just really limit them, or try to wean yourself off, as we say. There are many healthy alternatives to this as well. There's you have supplements for energy. So one alternative can be found in, for example, the Nuun, Nuun. They're little tablets that you can get on Amazon or directly at a vitamin shop, pretty much anywhere. In the United States, here in Mexico, a little bit more difficult, but they're just little tablets you put in water. They contain 50 milligrams of green tea. They have potassium, magnesium, and sodium. And those are minerals. And when we're tired and the brain's not working right, we need that jolt of energy, or like we want to focus or concentrate. A lot of times it's because we're deficient in some minerals. Maybe we haven't eaten that day or the day before we didn't eat healthy. And so these micronutrients, these minerals and vitamins in our body, we're short on them. So really what we need is that, and that will give you a huge boost of energy. And I can attest for this. These things are great for me. Sometimes if I'm up since 5 in the morning and I'm working, then I get to about 4 in the afternoon, 3 in the afternoon, let's say, and I have some classes to teach. I can get one of those tablets down, and 50 milligrams of green tea is not gonna bother your sleep. It's not like caffeine from coffee or caffeine from a energy drink. So these things are not going to really mess with you. That's a great. There's another one called Element, LMNT. Again, all it contains is potassium, magnesium, and sodium. A little bit more levels, higher levels than the Nuun, but and there's no green tea, no caffeine in it. But I'm telling you, man, they just lift you up. These are great for more than one thing, but a lot of times it's minerals. That's why we're tired, or the brain's not working, or we need some energy, or whatever it may be. It may be we didn't have a great night's sleep. Again, those minerals, we weren't able to get our body right and aligned. So taking something like that can help us out a bunch. Green tea, as I mentioned, instead of just a little bit, you could literally drink a glass of green tea. It has about 45 milligrams of caffeine per cup, compared to coffee, which has 90 to 100 milligrams. So these energy drinks contain from 50 to 500 milligrams per serving of caffeine. So some people can report that green tea gives them more steady energy compared to coffee because it's not as strong. This could be due to the fact that green tea contains L-theanine, which can promote lasting energy, but it's a very calming effect, and there's no crash, right? So that means you get an extra focus without having those caffeine jitters. As a plus, you get with the green tea source, you get massive amounts of antioxidants, which are the same. You could say the same for coffee and caffeine from coffee. And these are perfect for protecting your body from inflammation, from damage to the skin and other organs caused by UV rays, air pollution, and other types of free radical damage. So green tea really does stack up against the rest of them, and really is a great option. Snacks, balanced snacks, healthy snacks. The best energy comes from being healthy. We got to remember that we can't always be looking for a stimulant or something to wake us up. Look at the root of the problem. Why am I tired? Am I sleeping less than 7 hours a day? Oh, boom. Okay, so stop trying to take stimulants and focus on your sleep. Why am I tired? Am I eating processed food? Am I eating snacks and sugars? Am I eating stuff that's not healthy? Well, boom, change my diet. If I can eat some healthy foods, we're getting energy from these foods. Every fruit and vegetable literally has energy. You can literally measure this energy coming off of this fruit. It's electrical. So all food has electricity. All food has water, and these things are going to get us woken up. So, not talking about a snack at the convenience store, at the gas station, but maybe something like a fruit or a protein bar, which we'll get into right now. But again, try to eat. Don't just remember that it's not always about why am I tired? Oh, I need something that can lift me up real quick. No, let's try to find something like that is going to help me out. A scoop of peanut butter, right? It has proteins and fats and everything that you need into it. Some nuts. Again, a piece of fruit, whatever it may be. Hydration is a huge part in energy. A lot of times we're not drinking enough water. of course, our body's made up of over 80% of water. We need to hydrate. So we want to be drinking 3 liters of water a day, or an easier way to think about it is 8 glasses. If you do 1 glass of water when you wake up first thing in the morning, like you should be doing with your little half of a lime or lemon, and then you have 1 glass before and after each meal. There's 3 meals in a day, that's 7 glasses, and then 1 glass 30 minutes before you go to bed, so you're not having to wake up and go pee-pee. You got your 8 glasses right there. So you really got to stay hydrated. Drinking lots of water throughout the day will help keep you moving regularly. And since you'll be making trips to the bathroom as well, you'll be able to get those steps in. And we just want to make sure our pee is clear. If our pee is yellow, we're not doing well. We need to get some more water into us and make sure that we can have that. So just be careful. Energy drinks are very popular. They've grown popular just like many things that are fitness over the last few decades, and their sales don't seem to slowing down. So despite the heavy claims and the science still supporting to avoid them if at all possible, there are some energy drinks that you might be able to get away with doing. But again, don't make it a habit. Don't try to find a healthy energy drink just so you can consume that every single day. Just find one that you might be able to consume when you need it. It's an emergency. So I hope that we're able to clear that the energy drink mystery or the questions about energy drinks. Cleared up. And let's move on to our next topic, which is our protein bars. So for our protein bars here, are they good for you? Are they bad for you? What's the conclusion, Nate? We gotta know. I can eat them quickly while I'm on the go. They fill me up. It's a meal replacement. Are they healthy? How many can I eat? Can I have one every day? Is it a snack? Is it a dessert? Right? All these questions. I know, again, we're always trying to look for something quick on the go when really we don't want to be replacing any of our healthy stuff. We don't want to be replacing our natural energy for caffeine to wake us up. We don't want to be replacing a meal for a protein bar. But here we go. Let's get into it. The protein bars are a very popular snack food designed to be a convenient source of nutrition. Many people enjoy them because they're a quick way to add protein and other nutrients to a busy and active lifestyle. I get it. Given the wide variety of protein bars on the market, it's important to know that not all protein bars are created equal, and majority of them are not going to be the best thing for you. The nutrition in protein bars can differ, obviously, significantly between different brands and even between different flavors on the same brand. This is largely due to their varying ingredients, right? Many protein bars may be made from dates and dried fruit, nuts and seeds, and whole grains like oats and quinoa, which are what you're going to be looking for. The average protein bar contains 5 to 10 grams of fat, 25 to 35 grams of carbs, and 5 to 10 grams of fiber. In addition to offering protein and carbs, many protein bars are a good source of micronutrients such as calcium, B vitamins, potassium, and iron. When examining ingredient labels, be aware that some protein bars are blend of ingredients and don't disclose any of its details on the packaging, which is obviously their marketing trick. Many bars are also high in amounts of sugar and unhealthy sweeteners like fructose corn syrup, which adds excess fructose to your diet and can increase the risk of fatty liver, obesity, and diabetes when consumed in high amounts. High fructose corn syrup, avoid completely. Another topic, but again, generally most protein bars offer 150 to 400 calories and 10 to 20 grams of protein. Although some contain closer to 30 grams of protein per serving, and those are going to be your fitness protein bars, right? The ones that say specifically are for exercise, right? Or protein bars, because there's a lot of bars, health bars, right? But there's not, there's a category for actually usually made by these fitness companies, right? The same companies that make the protein powders usually have a protein bar. The source of the protein also varies. Some bars feature yogurt powder. There's others that have milk, dairy proteins like casein and whey. Others use plant-based sources like soy, peas, or brown rice. Some contain egg whites, while others rely on nuts and seeds as a primary source of protein. Some protein bars are highly concentrated protein sources like whey or soy protein isolates instead of less processed whole food protein options. So take from that there's tons of different types of bars between brands and flavors, and depending on their ingredient use, this influences the calorie, the protein, the fat, and the fiber contents, as well as the vitamins and minerals in each protein bar. So there's are potential benefits from protein bars. It's a convenient source of nutrients, so they can be simple, they're ready to eat, it's a nutritious snack, they come in many flavors, and they typically last a long time, so you don't have to keep them in a refrigerator. You can just keep them on hand, in your pocket, in your lunchbox, and they're in your car, whatever, and they're ready to go. So if you're looking for some midday snack or something that containing high protein and high quality ingredients, then it's practical. I get it. The protein and carb contents of protein bars may likewise make them a good choice for a post-workout snack as well, and boost of energy for exercise or help in muscle repair. Some protein bars are good for a source of dietary fiber, which is important for digestive health and helping prevent overeating between meals. And finally, many protein bars are a good source of important vitamins and minerals such as calcium, iron, magnesium, potassium, phosphorus, vitamin E, B vitamins, and much more, helping you meet your daily needs for these micronutrients. Again, we don't want to shift from eating protein bars every day because it's giving us these nutrients when we can get them from real, whole, healthy foods. Because we don't know the source, we don't know if it's tested, the FDA does not regulate these things. So don't take these benefits for, I can consume them every single day. Some may say this can help with weight loss. Some research indicates that high protein diets support healthy weight loss to a greater extent than diets containing a standard amount of protein. Of course, this is likely due to your appetite and this fills you up. Again, protein from animals, animal protein, healthy proteins, animals, chicken, meat, fish, etc. We're not talking about a high protein diet and protein powders and protein bars. But again, it's McDonald's or protein bar all day. We'll take the protein bar. You can also use this for a weight gain option because a lot of times as a hard gainer, or it's a lot harder if you're skinny to gain weight than it is if you're overweight to lose weight, right? So a great way to help you gain weight, or the guys that are trying to build a lot of muscle out there or gain some weight in the gym, or whatever the reason is for getting ready, this can definitely help you because it's just an additional calories and protein to your diet, and it's a dense bar, which can just again stack up those numbers for those that are trying to get in. Some say it's a meal replacement. There are protein bars that I guess could give you that enough for a meal replacement. Again, a meal replacement on an emergency when you know, hey, I'm gonna be at work for 8 hours on a somewhere where I won't have access to any food. Well, yeah, we don't want to not eat, and we don't want to eat a bag of chips with a soda pop because it's the only thing that's available at the concession stand. So taking a protein bar that could be a small meal replacement until your next full meal, that's definitely an option. We got muscle gain. Obviously, consuming more protein while you're working out is going to help you with gaining muscle. Again, we can only consume so much protein, so after you consume a certain amount of protein, it's not going to help you gain more muscle just because I'm eating more protein, but we do need to eat a certain amount of protein to gain muscle. So if we're talking about pounds, let's say 1 gram of protein per pound, and if you're talking about kilos, you want 2 grams of protein per kilo, right? So we want to consume enough protein, but it's just because I eat a protein bar is not going to help me gain muscle. I just need to eat a certain amount of protein throughout my day, and of course, again, coming from real whole healthy foods, not protein bars if it's perceived. Now we do have our downsides and precautions of our protein bars. So this is what we really all want to know, because we all know that they're a quick snack and they could be nutritious depending on the ingredients that they have. Be careful. Here's your downsides, because we have so many different options. It can be difficult to determine which ones. I was at the vitamin shop the other day, and there's like 20 different bars, and you know, we see those popular names, and usually we'll grab a popular name or we'll grab a cool looking package, right? But you have to be careful, because some are super high in calories and some are super high in added sugars that's just the same as eating a candy bar from the candy aisle. And a lot of them use these added sweeteners, which can come from a natural thing if it's like dates or the stevia plant. But if it's powdered stevia, a lot of times I can literally, the moment I eat a healthy snack or healthy dessert that has that, it starts to immediately give me digestive issues. And then you have your bad ones like high fructose corn syrup. So we want to avoid that. Remember that these healthy sweeteners are good because they don't throw you into a massive. They're not as crazy as our refined sugars, right? But now we are seeing that eating these sweeteners is tricking our brain and tricking our insulin. So it's basically doing the same thing. Just because it's a natural sweetener or natural sugar or whatever it may be does not make it better. Now better than high fructose corn syrup that we should never consume. Well, yeah. You got to remember also that these bars are high in fat sometimes. So with these nuts and the seeds that they contain, plant oils like canola oil and soybean oil and palm oil, those are all fats. So it's the same thing as eating a handful of nuts. Well, who are you? If you eat a big handful of nuts, we're talking massive amounts of fat that's probably enough that you need for your whole day. So you want to be careful with that. And again, these rancid seed oils, we do not want to be, almost all bars have them. If you turn over and it says vegetable oil, palm oil, canola oil, peanut oil, soybean oil, any oil, we don't want that. That's rancid omega-6 oils that are going to cause massive inflammation in your body, and I believe it's related with cardiovascular disease and many other chronic diseases. So we want to avoid those rancid oils in our bars. There's a study that found they've reviewed 32 people that are eating more than the recommended dietary allowance of 0.36 grams per pound of body weight was associated with an increased risk of cancer, heart disease, and bone, liver, and kidney disorders. So as I mentioned, over-consuming protein is very dangerous and can lead to some very dangerous side effects. However, there's other studies that the high daily intake of protein around 1.4 grams per pound of body weight is safe, at least in the short term. Again, if you're doing exercise as well, you're putting that muscle synthesis to work. So we want to make sure that we're not over consuming our protein. So we want to be able to count the grams of protein that we're consuming. So protein bars are not only, they don't only vary in nutritional content, but also in ingredients. So some of these, again, are high in sugars and excessive amounts of protein. So examine the package to determine what is best for you. There's other options. Here's the best part. I know we want to get that quick protein bar. It's easy, it's delicious, has flavor. But again, we want to resort to real food, whole, healthy options. Raw nuts and seeds. Again, be careful with the amount you consume, but that's going to give us a higher source of energy and real micronutrients, real vitamins, real minerals. Other things that contain protein are cheese, hard-boiled eggs, or eggs in general, nut and seed butters. You have yogurt, unsweetened yogurt, Greek yogurt. You have your beans and lentils. You have vegan tofu and tempeh. Not a fan, but an option. Seitan as well. And of course, our meats and our fish are going to be a huge, one of the biggest sources of protein that we can grab, as well as whole grains. So meeting your protein needs is easy with a well-balanced diet. You don't need to consume protein bars, but by incorporating some healthy protein-rich foods into each meal, and then if you have a small snack, no big deal. But this will fuel you for your day, for your workouts, and for your healthy lifestyle. The bottom line, protein bars are convenient and they're a way to add protein or the nutrients to your diet. However, not all protein bars are created equal, so make sure you're checking out which ones you're gonna like. The only reference I could give you off the top of my head that we have here in Cancun, in Costco, there's a protein bar. Literally, I think it's called protein bar. And the only ingredient that that it has that I'm not a fan of is lactose. So you have your milk in there. Again, these lactoses are coming from, this milk is coming from highly processed, commercialized cow farms, right? So we're not talking about grass-fed cow that's out there and they're using this milk for this protein bar. So you're still consuming this highly processed, damaged milk, which can cause inflammation. So it's very, very once a month, I feel like, or if you really want to get a dessert, right, and you're deciding to eat a protein bar versus a piece of cake, well, you're gonna win. You're gonna win right there. So just make sure that we're reading these ingredients, we're checking out what we're consuming, and we're always resulting to real whole healthy foods for our health and our lifestyle. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I'm gonna check it out now. Leave you guys. If you like the podcast in English, let me know so I can get you some more. And have a great weekend and enjoy yourselves. Thanks, guys.